Struggling to relax? Tonight's Real Skills workshop is for clearing blocks to resting and renewing, and it's definitely something that I'm going to find useful. Um, I feel like our January workshops are ones that are designed to support me and my well-being. I hope it does the same for you and my co-creator, Cathy Fartuli from the Intimacy Dojo and Thriving Now. Hi, Cathy.
Hey, Rick. Hey, everyone. Yeah, I actually proposed this topic because I have a lot going on in my life, and I noticed that I was having trouble relaxing, and I love diving in and using that. And Rick, the email he sent about I can't relax until was very inspiring for me. So I'm really glad you're here. I love when people are willing to look at these things that everyone seems to take for granted that we know how to do, but they don't know how to do. And we can kind of reverse engineer it and figure out ways that will help you in moments when you feel stressed.
Part of the emotional freedom process is awareness. It's one of the lead-in things, and that's why offering these workshops, like, oh, am I actually struggling to relax? And I, it's one of the curious things about like trying on this as a skill is that, whether it's a struggle or I have to do it consciously, there's there's a switch between being in daily action, especially hard action, especially the things that humans were designed to do. We were designed to do hard things. Really, our physiology, our biochemistry is designed to be able to both defend and acquire shelter, build it, acquire heat or cool, a place to call home that is protected from the elements as well as any predators. We can climb mountains. I've watched humans climb the 14 highest peaks in what was it, 7 months? Less than a year. It's extraordinary what the human body is designed to do. And I think that um, one of the first things is once you're aware that, okay, relaxation maybe isn't something that comes as naturally to me anymore. My life isn't a primal life. Um, and maybe that creates some dynamics. Maybe I become aware of things not just because the earth rumbles, but because I watch it on television or I read about it. Maybe the stresses I have land in that I need to do this or else kind of part of our brain, our primitive brain, when they're not the same as, well, yeah, I need to make sure that I have a source of water or else. And I really can't relax until I have a source of water. Like that's that's
I can't
really
relax
crucial.
until I've made it back to my cave or my home
Right.
safely.
Or relaxation is just to recover enough to keep going. And so one of the things that we want to do is to start with that awareness and the acceptance. So um, I'm curious, and if you want to participate in the chat, it's open. And Cathy, we'll just not refer to people by name so that you can say something and we're not going to put you on the recording from what you share in the chat other than the words. Uh, how much do you struggle with relaxing? And um, what's your theory? What what what's your big block to accepting that you need to do something a little differently, or you want to state it a little differently, Cathy?
Well, I'd love for people to. One of the things we love to do on these calls is normalize. You're not alone facing this.
Right.
And I do think, like for myself, I've done so much healing over the years. I've had new things come into my life that are very, very stressful. So I've been having trouble relaxing. There's a sense of shame. Like I should know how to do this. Like I don't want to tell people I'm having trouble with stress or I'm not relaxing well. I want to like, no, I'm fine. So if you're willing to share, where are you having trouble? Like for me, a lot of times I'm fine during the day. I have a moderate, I feel stressed, but not too bad. But when I go to lay down to go to sleep, it just washes over me because now I can really, like, I'm trying to get myself to relax. And I think when we see other people that are sharing things, either the cause of it or what they're experiencing in their body, there's a sense of, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not alone with this. And that alone is very healing for our survival brain does not want to be the only one struggling because then, the rest of the community is going to be like, oh, look at that outlier. We don't want to drag that dead weight with us. So when we can see, oh, a lot of people struggle. There's people saying my jaw says I struggle. Someone else said it's hard to relax on the weekends when it's time to kind of wind down. It's the best time to let down. If someone says I rest, then I'm sick. Rick shared I have a hard time letting go of the day's to do list. I do that too. It's like, oh, so many things I didn't get done. Someone said my mind does not like to relax. It makes me want to numb out, and I have trouble being content with what I have and what I would like to. I feel like I need to fix something or strive for the next thing. Yeah, never being content here. Someone else shared I struggle, my blocks, the to do list, caretaking of loved ones in need, a bit of the OCD feeling like I can't stop getting things done. Another person waking up and sometimes having difficult getting back to sleep. I also have TMJ and wear a night guard. Some Someone said, yeah, my night guard at night tells me I struggle to relax. It's worn down. Mine too. Like it gets teeth marks in it. That's not how it's supposed to work. Um, the busy, worried mind is usually gets me up in the morning. Jaw pain as well for someone else. So like for a lot of us, like there's two different ways we can carry stress that I notice is either my body, a tension in my body and muscles, jaw, like my face, low back sometimes will get me, or my mind. And it can feel like I'm on that hamster wheel. I have a friend, Reed Mahalko, that talks about that it's a bad neighborhood up here. The hamsters are running wild on the hamster wheel. And I'm like, that's exactly how it feels. They will not get off their hamster wheel. And one of the things I've found is the more I beat myself up about it or shame myself or try to like stop doing that, the less relaxed I am. It's not like beating myself up is not going to help.
We use energy tapping, EFT tapping. If you're not familiar with that, we have a free guide at thrivingnow.com/tapping, TAPPING. Um, and you can just watch, listen, and repeat what we say, change the words. We tap on natural comfort points on the body. And I'd love it, Kathy, if you would lead us in even though I beat myself up about being stressed, and that's very stressful. Um,
Great. Yeah. So I invite you, take a nice gentle breath. It doesn't even have to be a deep breath. Just notice the breath going in your body and out again if you can. And notice your feet on the floor, your butt in the chair. And I'm just trying to bring us back. We've been talking about stress, which kind of is disassociating a lot. Like we can get kind of numb to it. It's a good way to escape it, is to not really be connected with our bodies. And we have much less power when we're not connected with our bodies. When we can get here in this moment with all its stress and the pain in our bodies, that's actually where we have the more leverage, deeper leverage to do something. So I'm going to invite you in this space with this support. Let yourself be in your body and actually feel what you're feeling. Stress feels awful, but there's no acute damage. It's like the chronic part of it that's hard on our bodies. But it's not, well, sometimes I have worried that my jaw was going to break from stress. It has not yet done that. So I think we're okay. Karate chop. Even though I have all this stress in my body,
even though I have all this stress in my body,
it makes it very hard to relax.
and it makes it very hard to relax.
I'd really like to find a better way.
I'd really like to find a better way.
Even though my best way so far has been to yell at myself about it,
Even though my best way so far has been to yell at myself about it,
that's not actually working.
that's not actually working.
In fact, it sometimes makes me more stressed.
In fact, it sometimes makes me more stressed.
And I'd really like to find a way to work with my body and mind
I'd really like to find a way to work with my body and mind
so that we can relax and renew.
so that we can relax and renew.
I can't relax.
I can't relax.
It's not safe.
It's not safe to relax.
Side of the eye. I really want to relax.
Part of me really wants to relax,
Under the eye, but I can't relax.
but I can't relax.
Under the nose, I can't even make myself relax.
I can't even make myself relax.
Chin, I keep trying to make myself relax.
I keep trying to make myself relax.
Collarbone, it doesn't work.
That has not worked.
What if I, under the arm, what if I just started with where I am right now?
What if I started with where I am right now?
Top of the head, all the feelings in my body,
All the feelings in my body
and just let myself relax.
and let myself relax.
And just take a breath and notice what's coming up. I think part of this normalization that we talk about almost every call is one, seeing that we're not alone with it, and then just being with what's actually there. As long as we're shooting on ourselves or pushing ourselves or pretending around ourselves or all the things we do to avoid ourselves in the present, we don't really have the power or the insight to make a difference. And if we can allow ourselves to feel safe enough in a group like this, where we see beautiful, vulnerable shares from a lot of people, so we can kind of like, oh, I'm here with these other people that are willing to admit this, and I have some support. Maybe I can actually feel what's going on. That's when we start getting more insights and awarenesses that we can make a difference. So I really appreciate everybody being willing to at least try that on.
Someone shared that it's different. There's a different way to relax during a vacation than in the middle of a busy day. I need to bypass my resistance to relaxing in different ways depending on the situation. Yeah, and that's part of what I want to touch on today is being able to view relaxation as something that is more in a biorhythm, a rhythm, the type of rhythm that our bodies were designed to be in. Another shared, I struggle with feeling that I haven't done enough, especially since I'm retired, and I certainly have the time. Yeah, like where I go to with that, because it's true for me too. Um, my biology was designed not to have an easy day, not to have a day where I wasn't up at dawn and working my ass off in order to survive. Like there, the period that we're in, retirement was not something that anyone talked about until at least the 1900s that I'm aware. Like you worked, died, or was incapacitated and died. Like, what does retired mean?
Yeah.
Like you have enough resource that can come to you. And so, like, part of normalizing this is to recognize that my body was designed for much more physical, demanding labor, regardless of my age. As long as I was in the tribe, I was expected to be doing things, focus on things pretty much more than than like some of the Zoom, like we're working here, we're working our emotions, but it's not the same as like hauling in enough wood to keep from freezing tonight. It's just not the same. And so I believe that the kind of conscious thing that we're doing is to say, hey, the struggle to relax, we don't get the same kind of physical, like, I'm done, the sun is set, it's time for us to go to, for me to recover, that, maybe our ancestors did.
And I do think
Um,
maybe our ancestors were more fulfilled because they were doing things together. And I don't believe that we were designed to have to work all the time. Yet our
no,
society teaches
no
us,
animal,
yeah,
well, very few animals do
that's what
all
I
the
was saying,
time.
a constant restless need to be doing something. And like, why do we need to do enough? Like, I often felt that way. If I
Yeah.
worked myself to exhaustion, I deserve to relax a little bit.
Do it. Because that's a common one. um, Even though a part of me is expecting exhaustion,
Even though a part of me is expecting exhaustion
like really working it.
and really working it.
as a sign that it's okay to relax.
As a sign it's okay to relax.
And that's not actually my thriving lifestyle.
That is not actually my thriving lifestyle.
Top of the head. Do I have to always be doing
Do I have to always be doing?
eyebrow? I have proven that I do not.
I have proven that I do not.
I do not always have to work to survive.
I do not always have to work to survive.
Under the eye, part of me does not get this.
Part of me does not get this.
Under the nose, and it often tells me I haven't done enough.
It often tells me I haven't done
Jen,
enough.
you can't relax. You haven't done enough.
You can't relax, you haven't done enough.
And I acknowledge that there may be a part of me that does that.
I acknowledge there may be a part of me that does that.
Under the arm. I'm very aware of the part of me that does that.
I'm very aware of the part of me that does that.
And that's not actually a signal that I can't relax.
And that's not actually a signal I can't
It's
relax.
okay to relax anyway.
It's okay to relax anyway. I do like to add that our society, there's a whole value associated with doing in our society. The industrial complex wants people that are driven all the time, that are never shutting down, because they get more for their, like if I hire you and you're always a doer, you're running and pushing yourself all the time, there's more value than someone who's like, it's my lunch hour. I'm not going to work through lunch. Now, my fingers pointing back at me because I'm the person that works through lunch all the time. But there's a cultural gravitational pull on that too. Like never shut down, never put it down. There's Facebook, there's TV, there's stuff coming at us all the time, and our poor system is overwhelmed. It's like this community I live in has very strict rules and really pushes. We've got to keep up. Versus, I know that when I relax, like when Rick comes to visit me, I allow myself to relax deeply, and after a day or two of that, I'm so creative. I'm like ideas spouting out everywhere, and he's like, "Hold on, let's write them down." It's I actually create more better when I'm relaxed, when I allow myself to. And so I just invite you to try that on. Is it okay for you to like let your system recharge and be creating and doing out of fulfillment and abundance and rested space versus often I would be running on fumes trying to push myself that last little bit. It's not how I want to live my life.
So one of the awarenesses, can I go to number two?
Yeah, please.
So one of the awarenesses that came to me when I was meditating on this was, well, no, I can't relax until dot dot dot. And if you read the email, I don't know
Love
whether
that.
any of you did that exercise. I have been rather, I'll use a gobsmacked by some of the reasons, surprise, that I'm not allowed to relax until. So I invite us now to see if you imagine yourself in a normal situation where you're just having a hard time relaxing, and then ask yourself, fill in the blank. No, I can't relax until, and if you want to share it in the chat.
And I think it's really important if you're thinking it's too odd to share, that's probably the best ones. The illogical ones are ones our brain can't think its way out of. So, like, I have this thing, like, my house has to be perfectly tidy. Like, the spices have to be alphabetized before I can relax, which is silly because one, I don't cook very often, and two, who cares if they're organized, if they're alphabetized? But like, I'll keep raising the bar to get the house more tidy, but like, it's not logical, so my brain can't really figure a way out of that. So we'll do some tapping and clear it. But if you want to share, that helps other people also. And someone said, what does relaxation actually feel like? They feel like their brain is always spinning, their muscles are always tense. And I think that's a beautiful question because some of us have never even felt that. And I want to share what my thoughts are, Rick, and I'd love to hear yours too. But when I'm truly relaxed, I'm very much here and now. It's a almost meditative, like it's right. I'm not wandering off into the future and the past. My brain is just here and noticing what's happening around me, and it's very fulfilling. I feel like a warm. My muscles are relaxed. My brain is quiet. I often feel like beauty from things that are very simple. Like last night, I was for some reason very relaxed for about an hour, and I was seeing the moonlight glint off of. I had a my hummingbird feeder has a little plastic hook, but the light was glinting off of it in just such a pretty way. And the wind was blowing gently in the palm leaves. I could see the shadows moving. I was really present with it, and it felt so nurturing and loving. And I felt like just like content. I didn't have to do anything or do anything differently. So if we can get ourselves to a space where we can really let ourselves be in the moment, I feel like it's very nourishing that we get fulfilled and filled up and have a lot more for our, like, we can just be there for ourselves and for others if we choose to. What do you think when you think of being really relaxed? What is it your experience, Rick?
I'm a licensed massage therapist, and one of the things that I would look at is like, what's your muscle tone? So people have talked about jaw and shoulders. So, for example, notice how tight your jaw feels right now, and then make it a little tighter, just a little tighter. Maybe put your teeth together or wherever your tightness comes from. Like you'll notice my mouth isn't moving the same, right? I've made it tighter. Now, anything in the direction of less muscle tension is in the direction of relaxing. So just if you can, relax the extra tension that you put on there. And then imagine, if you would, a gravity letting your jaw be pulled a little bit by gravity. And let your tongue, which also is a muscle that holds tension, let your tongue rest in your jaw like it was a friend on vacation in a hammock. Uh,
Feels funny. Good but
it,
funny.
it, it feels funny because, one, we're actively engaging, but that's relaxation is on a spectrum. And the trend here is our friend. So I would say for someone that has chronic jaw tension, if you look at it, you could say, well, your body is putting more tension energy into your jaw than is necessary to speak, to chew, and to sleep. And if you do this relax in the hammock thing, maybe after you sip a little bit of something, you let gravity work. We have to resist gravity or we're a puddle on the floor, right? But we don't have to grip and brace. When we do that, you may notice feelings come up. You may notice resistance. Shoulders, like I can tell my shoulders are not up at my ears, but they're way elevated compared to what is necessary to be here with you all. And so relaxing can be like, oh, there's my shoulders. I just move them up a centimeter, maybe like a little more tension. And then on an exhale, don't force them, just let gravity lower them down. Oh, look, wow. Ah, I don't know where, I mean, they feel like they dropped a foot. I'm pretty sure they didn't, or I would look really funny on Zoom. But that's relaxing. So I've had people on a massage table who could not relax. Like if you rub their muscles, they would make their muscles tighter. If you like held their head, they would like keep trying to hold it up even more. They didn't release into. So relaxation is a release into gravity, into a different level of tone in your muscles, in your sinews, in your tissues. Your diaphragm that controls the diaphragm and rib muscles, the upper scalenes and the like that control breathing. Why are so many relaxation exercises breathing based? Because breathing is something we can kind of tell how tight our breathing is. Like I felt it a lot up here. And if you let, again, like as you breathe in, just let gravity, which pulls, let gravity deepen your breath a bit, just a bit. You can do that with your windpipe. You can do that with every part of your body. There's exercises called progressive relaxation. If you're so wound up by a chronic neurological state, trauma, freeze response, and the like, and you just never have had the experience of relaxing, that would be really useful to get coaching and guidance from someone who knows how to help you. Our mind, also the same kind of thing. It gets like tenser and tenser and tenser. We can feel it. Like that's the hamster wheel, is that things go kind of chaotic. That's a form of neurological tension. Our actual brain tissues become more tense. That's a lot of times why we, not just our muscles, but the actual tissues of the brain um, start creating a tension to them. And that's where meditation and the like for me, I was killing myself with worry. It was eating up my whole body, and I needed to learn how to meditate. I hated it. Like I hated the idea of sitting and doing nothing. I meditate every day now. Um, but even there, where you picture your brain and maybe a little tight, it's floating and fluid, and just imagine again, like, okay, brain, it's all right for you to just kind of float a little bit more instead of like swimming hard. Just stop for a moment. Yeah, tongue in the hammock, brain floating in the salty sea, if you like that. Shoulders, gravity. And like these are really natural things that if you watch indigenous people who are attuned to their level of effort, they go off and do effort and then they unwind. If you watch them, they don't hold tension the way that we do. They know how to unwind, their bodies unwind in a natural way, the way that they sit, move, and the like. We're trying to restore that. And I appreciate all the people that shared here, like some of the reasons. Would you like to share some of the
Yeah,
the
and
I can't relax until?
I think they're wonderful. I really appreciate them. And I invite you, especially if they're not yours, to listen with fresh ears. There's something I noticed about a lot of them. So someone said, everything in my life, I can't relax until everything in my life is perfect. Everyone is okay. I
Well,
can't
we
relax.
can, how about we pause just for a moment for like, oh, until everything is perfect, and just feel into how true does that feel for you? Does that really contribute to your until resistance to relaxing? Like that doesn't always apply, but some days it's like an 8. So you could just write down like an perfect 8
And
is
and
helpful.
for many people, perfection is a trauma response. When we had so little control when we were small, or when as adults, there's times in our lives when we've had very little control. We think if we can just get everything just right, we'll somehow be safe. It's often when we felt so out of control we could never that we didn't have any control over it. We thought if I'd just done this better or right, it would be safe. So please notice that perfect is often a trap. There's no way. It's there's no goal. Like how do you know? How would you actually know if you got it perfect? So I can't relax until everyone is okay. Several people mentioned this one. Just breathe into that. Notice it in your body. And one of the things they teach us a lot in like corporate, we took a lot of these classes, but I think some of the information is useful. If you have a goal, okay, this goal is I need to have make sure everyone is okay or everything is perfect. We need to know how we would know if we reached it. And everyone being okay, that seems like Adira lives in a beautiful home with loving parents, but there's times she probably doesn't feel okay when she loses her toy or she had a little black eye.
Teething, two molars coming in. She's
Yeah. So how do you?
both hands in her mouth, crying. You know, not always. She was really smiley at Cathy, but like that rises. But if I have that feeling of like I need everyone I love to be okay, like there's no
It's a lot of pressure.
that won't happen.
And that
Like,
also is a trauma response. A lot of people,
yeah,
we attract a lot of people that were parentified as children or young adults. We were trying to take care of people that should have been taking care of us. So there's a feeling we're responsible for everyone around us. And I'm just trying to give your logical brain something to try on. It's not our responsibility to take care of everyone around us. They get to have responsibility too. But that's something that takes a little bit of work to get to sometimes. I can't relax until I figured out what I'm going to do with my life. I love that one because I'm still figuring it out. I think we're like it's hard to figure out where we'll want what we'll want 10 years from now. Like well I don't know. So it's a very vague. A lot of these have like a lot of intensity. I think people are sharing. Like it seems like people really are holding on to them. But how would you do that? How would you figure out what you're going to do for the rest of your life? When I was 5, I thought I was going to ride horses for a living. Turns out you can't earn a lot of money unless you're like really, really good at it. So that didn't work. But anyway, our life plans change. Um, I can't relax until I finished everything, everything in caps. Um, and I get everything set for until I get everything set for my husband. Someone else, I can't relax until everyone is okay. I'll never get there. Um, I can't relax until I'm done. I don't even know what that means. And we often have these stories in our head that we're holding on to, but we don't know what they mean. We don't know how we'd reach it or how we'd know if we reach it. Someone shared, I feel worthless when I'm not doing stuff. Another person said, I can't relax until there's nothing to worry about. So I'm not laughing at you. I'm just like, oh yeah, I know that feeling. Um, so and people are saying they need a massage. So that's definitely I could use a massage. Um, so someone was going to be a jockey. That's what I was too, and then I realized I was already too tall at 5'4", so I was like, oh, and too big, obviously. But so just as you're noticing other people's, you might get more awareness of yours. And I just think it's important. I love Rick's article about like I can't relax until. I think that one of the things I'll do, and I think Rick kind of put this in the article, is we have some main ones we have. Everyone in the world has to be safe, good, and happy, and warm, and content, and showered, and their hair has to be styled right, or whatever it is. But we'll also have small ones. I'll do this during the day. I can't relax until I've gotten these 5 emails sent. But as soon as those 5 emails are sent, I don't relax. There's something else I have to get done. They're little like touch points through the day where I'm like a hamster chasing on the wheel. So we can have small ones and big ones kind of woven together. And there's never really an okay, now it's okay to relax. There's no point where we're like, oh, now I've earned this, or now I just get to let my body and myself. And the honest truth is, I do work better when I'm relaxed. I don't have to be driven to do work. What if I could just let my being do what I'm getting done without the tension?
So thank you. Thank you all so much. Um, there's a lot in my energy field right now. What I've been doing is just saying aloud, if I can, or in my head, I can't relax until, and I just say it very matter of factly, like, I can't relax until the laundry is put away. It's 10:30 at night. The laundry is still drying, but that came up the other night. I'm lying in bed, like, I can't relax until the laundry's put away. That was an open loop in my energy field. And so I imagined tapping on myself, like, eyebrow. I refuse to relax until the laundry's put away.
I refuse to relax until the laundry's put away.
Side of the eye. I refuse to relax until the laundry's put away.
I refuse to relax until the laundry's put away.
That takes care of the rebellion, right? You can, if you've got a lot of rebellion in you, you can keep tapping on that one. I can't relax until the laundry's put away.
I can't relax until the laundry's
And
put
those,
away.
I can't relax until
I can't relax until.
what is it true for you? So what comes up for you?
So for one thing for me is like I don't because I'm dealing with some life experiences that are causing a lot of stress, I feel like I can't relax until that's done.
Yeah,
So because it's not
I
done, I
can't
can't relax.
I can't relax until that's done,
I can't relax until that's done.
even though I wasn't designed to hold that much tension.
I was not even though I was not designed to hold that much tension.
Hold on. I can't relax until that's done.
I can't relax until that's done.
So now so we've acknowledged it. Like that's the truth in our energy. What? What?
What? What?
Bring in some question. Is that really necessary?
Is that really necessary?
Eyebrow. It's really natural to relax.
It's really natural to
Side of
relax.
the eye. It's really essential to relax the tension.
It's really essential to relax the
Under the eye.
tension.
I even work better if I relax the tension.
I even work better if I relax the tension.
No, I can't relax until
I can't relax until.
10. What if that's not true?
What if that's not true?
I'm open to relaxing anyway.
I'm open to relaxing anyway.
That would be doing something.
That would be doing something.
That'd be pretty badass
That'd be pretty badass.
to relax anyway.
To relax anyway.
Now, I just threw that in there because that's what came to me. And you see that there's a certain amount of spontaneous, like, no, I don't get to relax until, and I might do 3 or 4 rounds on that. Like, I did one on a walk. I said, like, I am tense. I am not noticing anywhere where I'm going. I'm just kind of like in it. I am not relaxing into this walk. Because even if I'm active, like walking, you don't have to carry that much tension in your body mind. Again, like you need to keep enough tension in your muscles not to collapse on the floor or in the chair. If you're walking, you want to keep enough to be stable and fluid, but you don't need quite that same rigidity. And I said, no, I can't relax until the idiocy ends.
Oh no! Now you're in trouble.
I can't relax until the idiocy ends. Until the idiocy ends. Oh, I'm fucked. I am never going to get to relax again.
Ever, ever.
Decided it's okay to relax,
Even if there's idiocy out there.
even if there's idiocy.
Yeah.
Whew. And even enjoy this walk.
Yeah.
So if you notice that the struggle to relax is actually interfering with you doing something that matters to you, not just sleeping, not just unwinding for the day, but in the moment. See, as Cathy said, like if I had some overdue emails today and I wasn't getting them done. I was staring at them, but I wasn't getting them done. Very nice of the universe to give me this example. I think there were 4 of them. But I said, I can't, no, I can't relax until I get these done. But I couldn't get them done because they were emotional ones. They were people, that there was an emotional response, not just an administrative response. So I was like, even though I can't relax
Even though I can't relax
until I get these done,
until I get these done.
and I can't get these done
And I can't get these done
until I relax,
until I relax.
uh, I acknowledge where I am and how I feel.
I acknowledge where I am and how I feel.
Love it. I can't get these done
I can't get these done
until I relax.
until I relax.
I wrote, but I can't relax until I get them done.
I can't relax until I get them done.
Side of the eye. Oh, this is fun.
Oh, this is fun.
Under the eye. This feels very familiar.
This feels very familiar.
So I'm going to let gravity do some of the work
I'm going to let gravity do some of the work
and just let my body respond to that.
and let my body respond to that.
I do want to do the emails.
I do want to do the emails.
And it's okay to relax enough to be able to do that.
It's okay to relax enough to be able to do that.
Even sensible.
It's even sensible.
So just to like, I can't relax until the idiocy ends. Like, I'm guessing that if that came out of your mouth, you might feel the intensity of it, but also like it's not sensible. Until
Humans are silly
everyone,
sometimes.
yeah, there were some people that I'm saying that because some people said, "Oh, my until is never going to happen,"
Right.
and so that's a clue for me that this is a block, and tapping on it is a way to shift your energy. It's a releasing. It releases the energy that holds the I can't relax until. Okay. And in this example too, remembering that if you're not able to do something and you're carrying a lot of stress, it can be that you need to. I needed to relax in order to do the thing that was causing me the stress. That's that kind of loop that we can get into.
The hamster wheel.
Yeah.
And someone shared, I worry that if I relax, I'll forget about the laundry. And that reminds me of, my mother does this, and I have some friends that do this, where they'll continually nag. Like if I'm visiting my mother, she's like, "Don't forget, don't forget." And there's so much energy and intensity that I don't want to remember. And I'm also like, okay, so am I just from a cost benefit analysis is like the amount of stress and energy that you're putting into this. If I forget the laundry, what's actually going to happen? Like our brains generally do remind things, or I love post-it notes. I would leave myself a note, but the amount of stress and energy that goes into it is like life or death. When really, okay, so I forgot the laundry. Like the worst that happens is it gets a little smelly, and I have to run it again because it was closed up in the washing machine. But like that constant, and I do it to myself sometimes. That haranguing. So like, invite yourself to say like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? I can leave myself a note, and if I forget it, I'm actually letting my cells in my body renew and feel healthier and more alive, and I'm letting go. Like that's might be more important than letting the dryer sit there for an extra few hours or so. And someone else shared that there's a feeling awareness of death is a block for me to relax. I can't relax because I don't have the time. Got a carpe diem. And to me that's a sign that maybe there's been a lot of lack in that, in our lives. There's a limiting belief about like how much we have to grab what we can when we can. We have to create versus I do know that there's times when I've been more relaxed and refreshed. The things I created I felt would have a bigger impact. And they were coming from a place of wholeness and fulfillment rather than I'm scraping the bottom of the bowl trying to get enough to put onto this thing. I just invite you to try on that maybe that sense of having to seize the time. It's kind of like the sponge and water analogy. The more tightly you hold it, maybe the less that we actually have and experience. So just an idea to try on. All of these are pleased. If you don't like them, Take what you like and toss the rest away.
The state of being, I talked about the physical ones, sort of the emotional, energetic one might be like savoring.
Yeah.
So when I hear, seize the day, there's a certain kind of um, uh, oomph to that. And what I've noticed is that um, what just to approach what Cathy said in a slightly different way, um, if I make my morning cappuccino and after the first sip, I take a moment to unwind a bit. I would call that relaxing and tuning in and becoming more present. And I savor. This afternoon, I drank my coffee a little fast, and I hadn't been present with it. But the good news is that we have the capacity to pause, and I will call to pause and like I was with the empty mug, right? No more coffee. And I relaxed into it 7 seconds. Wow, what a difference. Now, I've watched people not take any savoring at all, going from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. And I've never heard a client who did that pattern, including myself, at the end of the day feel like I have lived today, right?
Yeah, versus taking that sip and really noticing how it nourishes your body and
This is icy cold. I feel it in my fingers.
noticing it
Got a little
nourishing
lemon, a
going
little sweetness.
down the throat.
Now this goes to the workshop we did on simple comforts, which takes us to our third point, and we're going to be taking a break here in a moment. Um, well, we've already been interweaving, like, how do you go from a struggle to relax to taking it deeper? And so I'm struggling to relax. Can I unwind my physical body at all? Can I let gravity just do a little bit of the work? That's relaxation. You're relaxing tissues in your body. Your 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 nervous system, your endocrine system. It's different from like stretching because you're uncomfortable or like shifting. It's like, oh, I'm actually able to relax my tissues. Oh, bring me a pina colada in my tongue hammock. Sway. That wasn't very long. It's not like we don't have time. We can tap on the block. I can't relax until. And maybe it's true that you can't let go and savor or go do something else that might be nourishing, like go for a walk until you've done those emails. That's fine. Maybe legit. Like, no, I can't relax until the child who is taking a bowl and 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 holding it up at me has been fed. Like, no, I can't just go off and do my own thing. But the biorhythm of us is designed to do and unwind and do and unwind. You look at every single animal, they unwind. That's part of their pattern.
Yeah,
We,
there's a brief spurt of intensity and then chill and hang out.
yeah, and we can we're capable of being intense for longer periods of time, like 50 minutes maybe, which is about how long we've been doing this.
Which is
And
better than
then,
a lifetime.
right, we're going to take a 7 minute break here. So feel into what we've touched on. And if you're feeling drawn, like, okay, this is an area that matters to me, and I'd like to focus in on one of these things, please feel free to raise your hand. It's under the participants, under reactions. There's a raise hand if you're on a smartphone or the like, under dot dot dot. Um, and
We'll do some
let's do some
tapping.
tapping together when we get back. So I'm going to pause the recording. If you're watching the recording, hi. I invite you to take about a 7 minute break too, just to let your body communicate with you. All right.
And I'll be checking.
Welcome back. Um, so, what are you noticing? We've had some shares in the chat.
Yeah,
Some,
I love talking about this. I think just talking about it is really useful because it's sometimes the simple things no one ever talks about. They don't notice that there's some place to grow. So we do have a hand raised. I don't know if you saw that.
you like to
Yeah, I'd be
work with
glad
them?
to. All right, Connie, how are
Hi,
you?
Kathy.
It's great to see you.
Good to see you too. Hi, Rick. Gosh, well, I just raised my hand because something came to light during the break, and I can't relax
Okay.
because I feel like I'm kind of always being watched.
Mm,
And this comes from I'm an entrepreneur, so I have my own business. There's always stuff to do. There's always a social media post or an email. And so when I'm like not in my working hours and I'm like supposed to be with my family time and I'm like looking at my phone or I'm working on my computer, they assume I'm doing my business stuff, which sometimes I'm doing bookkeeping stuff or family stuff or ordering groceries. But it's
mm.
like this, you're not supposed to be doing that kind of thing. And that may be just, of course, all my own thing, right? That I'm making that up. But I feel
Have they
like I
actually said anything to them, to
uh,
you?
don't have I said anything to them.
Or
Uh,
have they complained about that?
there's sometimes my daughter will say
Okay.
something where it's like uh, something like you're working again, or like I can't have your. I feel like I'm supposed to be um, at attention for other people,
Yeah.
and so that's I think part of why I can't relax, and it's hard for me on the weekend because I feel like I'm not supposed to do business stuff, but I have a ton of crap to do for the household.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, when do I let down again?
Yeah. So where do you feel that when you think about that, like constantly being watched and judged and needing to do
uh,
more, like where do you feel that in your body?
in my chest.
Okay, and what's that feeling? And just what's the flavor of that?
Vanilla? No.
Is
It's
it a dull ache or a tension or a
it feels
sharp
like a
pain?
heaviness,
Yeah.
like a
Okay.
really dense kind of heaviness.
Okay.
Um, Not enjoyable.
Yeah. Can you put
Um,
your hand there and just notice that feeling?
yeah, like of course it's right on my heart,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
just love it.
All right. Just take a nice breath. And can you ask that heaviness what it would like to say?
I can. Can I say it out loud?
You
It's
can.
fuck off.
Excellent. I love swearing. It's perfect. And does it want to say to you, fuck off to you or to all the people you feel are judging you?
To the
Who does?
people that I feel are judging me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Karate chop. Even though there's no way I can relax.
Even though there's no way I can relax.
All these people are watching me
All these people are watching me
and they're judging me
and they're judging me
and they're thinking I got it wrong.
and they're thinking I got it wrong.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
And I feel that dense heaviness on my heart.
And I feel that dense heaviness in my heart,
Even though there is no way to relax.
even though there's no way to relax.
Even my downtime is hard work.
Even my downtime is hard work.
I'm trying to keep this family going.
I'm trying to keep this friggin' family going.
And they judge me for what I'm doing.
And they judge me for what I'm doing.
And I want to tell them to fuck off.
And I want to tell them to fuck off.
Top of that, this dense heaviness in my chest.
This dense heaviness in my chest.
Eyebrow, I want to tell them to fuck off.
I want to tell them to fuck off.
Side of the eye, I just want to relax a little bit.
I just want to relax a little bit.
Under the eye, this is supposed to be my downtime.
This is supposed to be my downtime.
Under the nose, it does not feel like downtime.
It doesn't feel like downtime.
Chin, I'm taking care of a lot of things for this family.
I'm taking care of a lot of things for this family.
Collarbone, and if I'm not at attention for them.
If I'm not at attention for them.
Under the arm, they don't feel like I'm taking time from work.
I don't know what that is. They don't, what did you say?
They don't think I'm taking time from work.
They don't think I'm taking time for work, even when I'm on TikTok.
Yeah. Top of the head. I want some time for me.
I want some time for me.
Eyebrow, I want some time that isn't about them.
I want some time that isn't about them.
Side of the eye, I want a time when I can just chill.
I want a time when I can just chill.
Under the eye, and somehow I don't get the impression they think I'm entitled to that.
Somehow I get the impression they don't think I'm entitled to that.
Under the nose, what if I told them to fuck off?
What if I told them to fuck off?
Chin, they're not small children anymore.
They're not small children anymore, even though they act like it.
Collarbone, maybe they should order their own groceries.
Maybe they should order their own groceries.
Under the arm, I really need some time just for me.
I really need some time just for me.
Top of the head, they don't approve.
They don't approve.
But I don't allow myself to have it either.
What? But I don't allow myself to have it either.
Just take a breath and see what's coming up. You don't have to.
It's true. Yeah.
So when you say yeah, what are you feeling in your body? What are you noticing?
It's my choice, isn't it?
There's social pressure and there's a gravitational pull to it that is really hard to resist.
Yeah.
And we can build the muscle where we're like, no, this is not what I'm going to do. And I imagine you've done that around other things in your life. I think you've carved a life for yourself that's really beautiful.
Thank you.
So you have the skill set. You just need to apply it here. And just like anything, it's baby steps and being in communication. It's like, if I want to check my business on my weekend, I should be able to. It's my life.
Right.
If I don't want to give you quality time right now, that's okay. If you want quality time, you can request it. You don't get to do the little side jabs or the passive aggressive or the judgmental thing.
Right.
And part of that's just, sometimes when I'm first doing it, it's like the next day I notice it and I have to go back and I'm like, I know this seems silly, but yesterday when you said that, I really felt judged.
Right.
Please don't do that. But then I start catching it quicker. And I'm like, oh, that really hurt when you said that. This is my weekend, not your weekend. It's my weekend. You take your weekend and you take care of yourself. And if you want to be with me, you can ask for that. How does that feel if you think about trying that?
It feels a little bit scary. Yeah. I'm still kind of in my communication diapers. Yeah. So I'm kind of learning how to communicate effectively, and I'm getting better at it thanks to you and Rick.
Rick's amazing. So karate chop, karate chop. I'm scared to do this.
I'm scared to do this.
I'm not sure I'm okay not taking care of them.
I'm not sure I'm okay not taking care of them.
I've always taken care of them.
I've always taken care of them.
I've always met their expectations.
I've always met their expectations.
What if it's okay for me to meet my own expectations?
What if it's okay for me to, oh man, meet my own expectations?
What are you noticing in your body?
I am really sad.
Top of that, all the sadness.
All the sadness.
Eyebrow, I haven't had time for me before.
I haven't had time for me before.
Side of the eye, and this feels pretty intense.
And this feels really intense.
Under the eye, but it's an amazing breakthrough.
But it's an amazing breakthrough.
Under the nose, I'm noticing I'm sad that I don't have time for me.
I'm noticing I'm sad that I don't have time for me.
Chin, it's really good to notice that.
It's really good to notice that.
Collarbone, I honor that grief.
I honor that grief.
Under the arm, and I allow it to help guide me as I go forward.
And I allow it to guide me as I move forward.
Top of the head, it's okay to have time for me.
It's okay to have time for me.
And take a breath and just tell me what you notice in your body.
feel like the heaviness is gone. Good intuition here. I brought Kleenex.
Excellent. I love it. Tears and laughter is welcome. They're
Jeez,
all welcome.
I feel lighter. It feels better. It feels doable.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just baby steps.
yeah,
You don't have to do it all at once, and you can just let people know, like, hey, I noticed I haven't been taking time for myself on the weekends,
yeah,
and I'm going to do what I feel like doing on the weekends more.
yeah.
If you want to, just informing them that the
Right.
parameters have changed, and if an email is easier or something like that, then
Yeah.
people aren't surprised as much. Like, oh, that's
Right.
so. Do you think
Thank
you'd be
you.
able to baby step that a little bit this weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
I love it. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
bringing this forward.
Thank you for the crying.
Yeah,
All right.
wonderful. I'll go ahead and mute you again.
Um, so, like creating the container for us to relax is like, oh, can come up on the I don't get to relax until. Um, I appreciate the reminder and finding something that is a container that feels like, well, of course, that would be healthful for me. Um, like taking a daily walk is something that, of course, that would be healthful for me. But I ran into all of these, well, I don't get to. I don't I don't get to relax and go do these things directly as a result of finding a container that I felt really like, oh, this would be relaxing for me. Relaxing in the sense of unwinding tensions, getting to use my body in a more physical way, getting to like relaxing is getting to use our beingness and experience things and not just the ways that are habitual. Um, and I created a container that I could assert myself into, which wasn't a whole weekend or a whole day. Like that would have felt like a bridge too far for me. But 460 some days ago, I decided, I think it's 460, maybe 420.
It's amazing.
Um, well, it's amazing because this is that benefit. You have to start kind of where you are and be able to choose something that you could say, well, yeah, this would be relaxing for me, unwinding for me, nourishing for me, replenishing for me. And yeah, I stand for this. Like I stand for this for my family too. Like I'm not expecting them to not get a chance to do these things. I'll make space for them to do that. Um, yeah. So that's the and I believe that when we do this work, we're asserting not just for ourselves, but also like what we stand for others. Like I want I want people to not feel like they're always needing to be responding to other people's needs.
Yeah, we
That
role
we're
model it
role
for them.
modeling as well. And for those of us that are parents and partners and human beings in community, um, you know, I think that is another doorway to allow us to do this.
Hmm.
Beth, and I know we're coming down to the last 15 minutes, so we'll probably want to focus in pretty quickly here.
Okay. Can you do something? I just feel guilty. Because I don't really know how to relax. I don't, and so even when I say I'm just going to rest, my mind just goes, and then I feel like I should be. It's, there's just a lot of guilt about all the stuff I haven't done. So it's,
Yeah, even though I have all this guilt,
I have all this guilt.
and it feels like what on your body?
It feels like bricks on my shoulder. My shoulder
Oh
and
yeah,
neck have just been so tight.
I have so many bricks of guilt on my shoulders.
I have so many bricks of guilt on my shoulders.
And this pillow behind my head is not sufficient.
This pillow behind my head is not sufficient.
Top of that, I have so many heavy bricks of guilt.
I have so many heavy bricks of guilt.
Eyebrow, of course I can't relax.
Of course, I can't relax.
Side of the eye. Part of me feels so guilty.
Part of me feels so guilty.
Under the eye. There's always more to do.
There's always more to do that I'm not doing anyway. But
My, well, at least I'm a bricklayer.
at least I'm a bricklayer.
I've got a cathedral worth of guilt bricks.
I've got a cathedral worth of guilt bricks. Yeah.
What if I left that off to the side for a change?
What if I left that off to the side for a change?
Even for 5 minutes.
Even for 5 minutes.
I'm really done with driving my life with guilt.
I'm really done with driving my life with guilt.
What does that feel?
Yeah, that felt better. Better.
Now, in your position where you are, can you can you imagine that the bricks we just stack them up for some other purpose, right? Like nice vacant lot, right? Now you got all these bricks there, but they're not on your shoulders. Do your
Yeah,
where how do your shoulders want to move right now?
yeah, they were side to side. Um,
Okay. So we can join Beth in letting our shoulders move side to side, or like mine sort of want to do a weird little figure 80 kind of thingy. I'm not even
yeah.
sure what it is. It's a bit like, you know, my 15-month-old drawing with a pen, kind of like, oh, that's so pretty. Um,
Don't know what it is.
I have no idea what it is, that kind of thing. And now just let gravity work a little bit more, just to relax you, unwind you. You've had to been fighting the energy of the heavy bricks, right? Like that requires tension. And just allow your shoulders to do something different with gravity, just doing all the like, sinking. Like, a trick for folks that are sitting in chairs can be like, you'll notice that your butt muscles are resisting sinking into the chair, the way that we maintain balance. Just let yourself feel a bit heavier in the seat. You'll notice that when you do, you may sense that your spine stacks a little differently, which it does biophysically when you let yourself not be quite so tight-assed. um, that your spine actually stacks differently and your head can bobblehead differently. Little trick, relaxation. How's that feel to you, Beth?
that's that's better. Can every time somebody mentions meditation, or it's like I it stresses me out
Well, then don't
because
meditate. Then don't meditate. Um, I I have found that my meditation is different now. It used to be a sitting meditation taught to me by a Buddhist nun, okay? And I had to do her meditation in order to go and work with her. That is not my meditation today. When you just did the take the bricks and put them in the vacant lot for the cathedral builders to work with, um, that's a meditation. It's a visualization. Visualization is a kind of meditation. Letting your tongue be on the hammock is a meditation.
Oh,
For some people, chopping vegetables is a meditation. It is something where you're changing your state of being to one where you're more present. Um, we, I use gravity, I use breathing, I use like that weird sort of drawing that my shoulders do when they're unwinding from. I just did a tapping on guilt. Like, who doesn't? I do. There's a part of me that sort of wishes I was sometimes one of those people that didn't feel guilt, but that wouldn't be Rick. So I do. Doesn't usually make sense. Your guilt, I'm guessing, if you looked at every brick, I'm guessing that most of them are inherited or not really what you stand for. Would you say that that's true?
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right, my friend.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Happy.
All right. Shall I go ahead and
Yeah.
yeah?
Let's, Mark.
Hey, Mark, I'm asking. Go ahead and unmute if you'd like.
Me? Hello.
How are you?
Hi,
I
Mark.
don't know if this works. I guess
It does.
never
I
used
can
the
hear you great.
microphone.
Yep.
The thing I put in there about being defensive, it's like I'm defensive in the uh, with nothing to be defensive about.
Okay.
It's
When did
just
you
inner.
learn?
It's an inner feeling or an inner um, grinding.
Okay. And did you learn that when you were? Did you start that when you were young?
Not as much.
Okay.
No, it's
When
been
did you
recent.
decide that was a good pattern, a good way to go?
I don't know if I decide. I would like to think I decided, but
Well, subconsciously we just there's like, oh, we
um,
evaluate like, oh, this feels safe. I'm going to take this pattern on.
it may have always been there, but I learned to avoidance
Okay.
of things that would trigger it, but it's gotten to be chronic.
Okay.
And
Correct. Okay.
I wanted to say that I don't know if anybody's doing it, but the engineer nerd in me is watching the space telescope flight going through but the live feed of it, the music they play in the background is really nice. It really
That's great.
it's very calming.
All right. Well, let's just do a little. We have only a few minutes left in the call, so I love that you're watching the space telescope as well. I think it's amazing. And just
Oh
start in
yeah.
the start in the karate chop. And hey, survival brain,
Hey, survival brain.
I get that you decided that being defended is important.
Decided that being defensive is important.
And I love that you're trying to protect me.
And I love that you're trying to protect me.
This defense mechanism is really tiring, though.
This defense mechanism is really tiring.
And I'd love to find a new way of being around this.
And I'd love to find a new way of being normal. Normal?
Around this, yeah. Top of the head.
Around it.
Yeah. Thank you for caring about me.
Thank you for caring about me.
Eyebrow, thank you for trying to protect me.
Thank you for trying to protect me.
Side of the eye, I've been avoiding things that might cause pain.
I have been avoiding things that might cause pain.
Under the eye, and that's a logical thing to do.
The logical thing to do.
Under the nose, but I've gotten so I'm avoiding so many things.
I miss that.
Oh, I've gotten so I'm avoiding so many things.
Yes, I've gotten to the point where I'm avoiding so many things.
Chin, I'm not really living my life.
I'm not really living my life.
Collarbone, there are some things we want to avoid.
There are some things I want to avoid.
Under the arm, but some things we can really handle now.
I'm,
Some things we probably can handle now.
yeah, some things I can really handle now. Yes.
Top of the head. And I'd like to let go of some of this defensiveness.
And I would really like to let go of some of this defensiveness.
Just take a breath and notice how your body feels at that thought.
It's very relieved.
Nice.
Relieved?
Yeah.
Mm.
the
almost
feeling of
have an
relax.
urge to go, all the talk about walking, and might go outside and go for a walk.
That's beautiful. If you can notice, just noticing the defensiveness. Someone shared in the chat they noticed they were feeling they wanted to avoid certain things or distance. Just the noticing of that is a big step forward. Our subconscious is very powerful, and when it doesn't want us to see something, it can make it so we won't even notice we're avoiding it. So the fact that you're able to notice the avoiding or the distancing is really powerful. It means your system thinks you're healthy enough to at least notice the defense pattern parameters there. Once we start noticing, there's the ability to make gentle changes. You don't have to go like do something really scary for your brain. You can do a gentle baby steps and build those muscles up, like a short walk. You don't have to go for a walk, 10 miles from your house. You can make a walk around your house or on the block if that feels safe. And then really notice that you did something different. Congratulate yourself. We don't often do much appreciation. I'm one of those people, well, I should have been doing this all along. That wasn't so hard, which isn't very helpful. And I'm like, thank God wow, that was great. I did it. Good job, body. Good job, brain. It's much more likely that I'll do it again. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're just
And
repatterning, and the fact that you're noticing it is very powerful and really great.
right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
Yes, thanks.
Go ahead and mute you again.
Thank you, Mark, because it reminds us that the things that we're relaxing are not binary. They're on a spectrum. So like I want a part of me to be aware of protection
Mm-hmm.
and the capacity to defend. But right now, I feel pretty soft. That part of me is not gone. Just like my muscle tone, I'm more relaxed right now than I was at the beginning. We've done a lot. By this practice, real skills of being calm and confident are a practice. And so the capacity to say, oh, I'm feeling defensive at a 9 for my walk around the block, maybe a 5 or a 6 would be good. Oh, even though I'm feeling like I must be defensive. Oh, or going some other place. What we do is we bring down, we unwind the tension level until it finds a sweeter equilibrium. A lot of people had jaw stuff. I invite you, like, oh, right now my jaw is at a 7. I could be a 4 and just fine. I don't need to hold this much bracing. You start getting savvy with the level of tone. We need to be toned. Our primitive brain doesn't it can get overwhelmed and can start checking out, can freeze because it just doesn't know what else to do. But a good, healthy primitive brain is working with us. It's got its sensors out, but it's pretty confident and chill most of the time, because we live without as much threat. Um, when we notice something that gets us, tight in our physical body or our mental asking this question, well, I can't relax until, and see what comes from your subconscious or from that place in you. It may be obvious because it's what you've been focused on, but it may be something that's just in your energy field.
Yeah.
When we unwind this way, it allows us to pass through one state of being into another. It's an energy portal. An energy portal, an emotional energy portal says, I was feeling defensive. Like that's the label I would put on myself. And now I'm feeling like walking. I'm
I love that.
feeling like journaling, or I'm feeling like writing those emails. I'm feeling like having a sip of water. I'm attuned to my body. Um, we are meant to do this pretty automatically in the same way that we're not meant to sit still the way we were told to. Some of us were told to as kids. We were not meant to hold that much tension to stay still. Staying still is not what animals do,
Unless
except
they're
for
in
when,
freeze. Yeah, they're in
unless they're in
trouble.
freeze or pounce. Okay. Um, we don't, so that's part of our normalizing, which we did. I can't relax until, and the deepening is that awareness that starts building like a capacity to, I can calm myself. I can also confidence myself. I can calm myself down. I can relax. And having, like, I notice that when I let go of these things, I sleep more confidently. I don't know if that makes sense, but if I'm still worried about the laundry, I'm not sleeping confidently. It's not like,
And it
the
doesn't
day
mean you
is,
have to get up and do the laundry. It means you can
it
do a
does
little
not
tap and
mean
develop a
that.
pattern. I
Yeah.
put the grounding exercises in the chat. I loved what you said, Rick, about
Thrivingnow.com/grounding,
yep,
for people
changing
that
our
don't see it.
focus from our survival brain is always looking for where is there danger, and there's part of our brain always answering that to what can we notice what's safe or good or comforting around us. I think that's just that can be a profound way to relax. Like I will often list the potential dangers, thinking I will feel safer when I know them all, but that just really makes me like someone could burst through the front door. Like I don't know, but wow, I do have four beautiful walls, and like I the door is locked, and I'm kind of cozy, and I have bread that's rising, and I'm gonna cook after this call, and like can we notice the good things that are in our lives that can help us relax. And I think that's cultivating that muscle and that awareness is just a really powerful way to do good for our body and give us energy to go out there and create what is really aligned with for ourselves.
You all, and this engagement, this discussion, this development and cultivation of real skills continues. One of our places we do this is at on our community center, thrivingnow.center. You are welcome to join us um, and be participant, or just take in the energy, or not. We'd like you to be relaxed about it, but also feel deeply invited to be a part of our community in that way. So we'll be sending out an email about our next Real Skills workshops. And thank you for being here and
Thank you all for
participating.
your
Thank you,
courage and your
Cathy.
sharing. Thank you, Rick. It was so fun. I'm much more relaxed.
Mhm. Bye for now.